Bismillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillahi wa ba'd. Dear brothers and sisters, I want to share with you a very, very beneficial story. I'm going to be taking this story from an Arabic poem, and inshallah I'm going to be sharing this story with you so you brothers and sisters can benefit from it. One time there was a man and he was on his way to go pray salah. The man was responding to the call of the adhan of salat al-dhuhr, and the man was walking through the market towards the masjid, and he saw a woman from very, very far away who was covered in black clothing. She was covered in a black jalbab from head to toe. Her whole body was covered and she had a veil on her face. Now the man normally would have been lowering his gaze and not looking at this woman, but this time there was something about this woman that made the man curious, so he looked at her from a very, very far distance. Upon looking at the woman from very far away, the woman, as she was about to turn the corner, turned back towards the man and gave him a head nod. She nodded her head towards the man and she turned the corner. This puzzled the man and made him wonder, why is this woman looking at me? What does she want? Why does she nod her head towards me? That was very strange. So the man, upon curiosity, he followed the woman and walked all the way down the market and turned the corner where she turned. Now the man is following this woman, and it's very strange out of his character to be doing something like this. But the fact that this woman nodded her head made the man so curious to know what is the mystery behind this woman that is inside the black veil. The man followed the woman, and the woman is walking very far away from him. And as she's walking through the market and they're passing through the gold sellers and they're passing through the silk sellers, the man was following this woman and he's pursuing her. And the woman was about to turn another corner. And upon turning this next corner, the woman turned towards the man and she slightly lifted her veil and smiled to the man. And she turned the corner again. So now the man's heart is a prisoner of this woman, and he's following her crazily, and this man does not know what he's doing. This woman has him leaving his salah just to follow her, just to find out what is the mystery behind this lady. Why is she so interested in him and smiling to him and nodding her head towards him? So the man followed the woman, and he's following her and pursuing her down the market, and he's walking, and she's making him walk further and further down the market. And now they finally left the market, and the man is still following this woman, and the woman continues on, and she continues on walking. And now they finally left the market and they are on to some abandoned houses. And the woman, right before the moment the man is able to actually come within grabbing distance of this lady, the woman opens a big old door and she walks in, and the door closes behind her. And the man is just out of his mind and he doesn't know what is going on. He's intoxicated by his attraction to this woman, and he opens the door and goes in. And now the man sees that there's a long flight of stairs that is heading all the way down into a basement. And the man follows the woman, and the woman is walking down the stairs and walking down the stairs and leading this man towards another door. Now this is a very, very heavy metal door, and the woman opens the door and goes inside. She opens the door and goes inside to a big old room. The man stops for a second, takes a deep breath, and walks in right after. And now that he walked into this dark room, he takes a look around. He sees candles, a big couch at the end of the room, and a well in the middle of this dungeon. The woman points towards the keys and indicates to the man to close the door and lock it shut. The man closes the door, he takes the keys, and he closes it without any hesitation. Now the woman points towards the well and indicates to the man to throw the keys into the well. Finally, the man stopped and thought for a second. He snapped out of it. If I throw these keys into the well, then that means that there's no way out of here. The woman sees the man contemplating to himself what his next decision should be, and she tells him, "Didn't you already miss your dhuhr salah? Didn't you already disobey Allah? Didn't you already leave the obligatory thing upon you? Now don't you want to have your fun? Don't you want to fulfill your desires? Don't you want all of this?" The man swallowed his spit and he threw the keys down the well. The woman told him, "Come sit beside me, come sit beside me." The man walks to her with his heart beating. She says, "Now you get to fulfill your desire." She says, sit beside me. The man takes a seat. The woman says, take a close look at me. She takes off her veil, and she is an old, wrinkly, disgusting, wretched old lady. She says, my name is Dunya. You followed me. You disobeyed Allah, and this is where I brought you. Now you are inside your grave. The woman turns into dust. The room turns into dust, and the man is now trapped in the hellfire. Dear brothers and sisters, this is not a true story. This is just a tale that will help us benefit and understand the reality of this dunya that we're in. Every day we're constantly chasing the dunya, wondering, what am I going to do? What kind of career am I going to have? How much money will I acquire? What type of person am I going to marry? How much this? How much that? Am I really going to become rich? Am I going to be poor? But we forget that this dunya is just a temporary time. The Prophet ﷺ compared the dunya to a man walking through a village, a traveler walking through a village. Meaning that this life is just temporary, it's very short. So why would you throw away your akhirah for something that's so short? Why would you chase a girl? Or why would you chase music? Or why would you chase haram money? Why would you chase these things that make you stay away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for something that's so temporary? Do you realize what you're trading in? You're literally trading in eternity for 40 years, 50 years, 60 years, 80 years, whatever it may be. You're trading this small time for eternity. So I hope that benefited you, dear brothers and sisters. Please share this post, and don't forget that this life is temporary.